Hey Savvy people, it's Savvy Nick here, and today I'm going to be continuing the Python tutorial from the python.org website for version 3.8. Yesterday I was able to get my first program going and created something in Visual Studio Code. I also failed miserably a couple times, not knowing how to use less than or equal to. But today, I'm going to continue here in chapter 3, where it says it's an introduction to Python. So what I see first, and I kind of learned in the last episode, was you can use hashtags to comment out certain lines. And let's see here, what else we got? So simple commands. Okay, numbers. So it looks like it's what you would expect: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So division always returns a floating point number. All right. Now that makes sense. You wouldn't want to leave out the remainder. Okay, so if we use 2, floor division discards the fractional part. All right. So this is modulus operator. All right, so if we want something squared, we just use 2 multiplications. I also plan on doing a rock, paper, scissors game after reading up a little bit here. What I'm missing is a while loop. I don't know how to do a while loop yet, but I think everything else I have in order to make it. We'll have to use random as well. Alright, well, let me see. I'm going to create a new file here. And let me save it as lesson 2.py, and from lesson 1 I need Python here so it knows that I'm using Python. And let me see if I can play around a little bit. So let's make sure I can run this. All right, got something out, 7. So if we wanted y equal, what's that, 20? Let's try that out. All right, 27. How's the order of operations go here? Okay. So it looks like it follows the order of operations quite well. All right, so going on here, we have floor division. I really don't care about any of this. Strings. Single quotes. Okay, so the same result if we do single quotes or double quotes. So I'm used to using double quotes, so I'll probably just keep using double quotes. All right. Interesting. So let me try this out. Maybe create a little menu. So print menu. Ooh, not what I wanted. Let's see, print a menu. That's annoying. So why do they have? Interesting. Menu. 1, 2. Let's save that and run it. All right, so that kind of allows us to do new lines by just pressing enter, it seems like. That's pretty cool. All right, and if things are next to each other, they concatenate together. That's interesting too. Yeah, this is interesting. I like that. So if you want to break something up, you can do it pretty simply. Text equal to I want to. How do we do that? Okay. Break this up. Let's see if that works. And let me print that out. This is a little hard to see. I gotta. Zoom out a little bit. So here, if I want to break some text up, let's see, print text. Let's see if I can print that text and break it up like that. I want to break this up. Very good. So you can. If I put a space here, that should fix. Yeah, I want to break this up. So you can put it on multiple lines if it's very long, so you can see it in the editor still. That's a fantastic way to look at strings. All right, moving on. If you want to concatenate stuff, we can just use the plus operator. So if I have some text, and that's equal to testing plus now. Let's print some text and see what comes out of there. Should be together. Testing now. Great. Add a save. All right. That seems to work too. Oh, okay. So we can pull out certain characters in a string, and we can do positive or negative. So negative starts from the back, it counts to the front, and then front to back is just the positive number. That's pretty cool. So you can select a very specific part of a string. So let's do print some text, and let's just do 0. See what that gives me. T. Very good. And then if I wanted the very last one, I could do, well, let's see how many characters are. 11 characters, it seems like. So if I do maybe -10, I assume it starts with 0. E. Oh, wait a second. That's not what I wanted. -1. W. Okay. So we can start from the back or the front of a string and pull out a single character. That makes sense. Good sense. Oh, okay. You can pull out multiple characters as well by just doing print some text, and we can do, let's say, 1 to 2. Let's run that. I did that wrong. Oh yeah, not like bash, like that. All right, so we pulled out just the E. So what if we want to pull out testing? So that'd be 7 maybe? Let's do that. And we get testing now. All right, that's cool. So if you wanted some kind of user input and you only wanted to pull and take out some of the numbers, I mean characters in a string, you could fairly easily. Moving on. Huh. Okay, so you can check. Okay, that's pretty cool too. Yeah, this is a nice example. So it shows you that the first character belongs in index 0, then 1 for Y, 2 for T, H, so on and so forth. And it shows you if you want to start from the back, you can reference -1, -2, HT to -6. That's pretty cool. So you cannot assign an index here because it's immutable. All right. Good enough. If you need a different string, you can create a new one. Very cool. So I'm starting from the first position. It copies the entire string and concatenates it with the J here. All right, built-in length. Oh, all right, so we got a length function now. That's what I'm talking about. So we could get, let's say, length of some text. So we'll print out the length, but that needs to be somewhere. So length of string, and let's print that out, length of string. Make sure those are the same. Yep. All right, run that, and let's see if we get something out. 11. All right. So we can use that if we're checking something from user input. Make sure that they actually gave us something in the string. Lists. All right, well, I'm going to stop here as far as the lists go. Now I'll go ahead and try creating that rock, paper, scissors program. I think I got enough. The only thing I'm missing is how to do a while loop. So let me see. while loop in Python. Let's see here. While expression statements. Okay, easy enough. All right. So in order to create my program here, I'm going to do Python. I think I know enough information here. And I'm going to save this as game1. Why not? Oh, not that. Save as game.py. All right. So what I'm going to do here is create a rock, paper, scissors program. It's something very easy, and I think I got enough information to do it. Walking, yeah, I know. You don't need braces, you just do indentation. It's wild. So I'm gonna, let's see. Rock, paper, scissors. Back to that. So what I'm gonna need is some kind of a random generator. So I'm gonna have to look that up. And I'm gonna have to do if statements, a while loop, and keep score. So that should be fairly easy. Let's first take in some kind of user input. So I can do user, and I'll cast it as an integer because I don't want to be dealing with strings this entire time. And we'll just assign, I don't know, rock equal to 1, paper equal to 2, and scissors equal to 3. And maybe quit equal to 4. I think that's good enough. And I'm going to ask for input, and that input is going to be casted as an integer. So let's make sure that this works before we go too far. All right, it works. It's asking for an input. And I'm going to add a new line just so it looks a little better. And let's see if I can rerun this. There we go. Now we spit out, hey, what do you want? Rock, paper, scissors, or you want to quit out of the program? Great. And to always get out, I think you can just do Control C. Yep. So now, after we've asked them what they want, we need to have a computer user, and we need to somehow generate a number 1, 2, 3 for the computer. So I assume there's a random function that we can use. So Python random. Here we go. Get state seed. So random. There's some kind of an object called random. And that object has a random range and a random integer. This is exactly what I need. All right, so random.randomInt, randint, random.randint, and it says that there is a range. We can put in a range, A and B, so something between 1 and 3. So that should generate 1, 2, or 3 randomly from the computer, and then the user will put his input in, and then we're going to compare these two and see if the user won or if the computer won. All right, I think we're making good headway. And in here, we'll do our first if statement. If some condition, true, else if. All right, pass, I haven't learned. I'm going to keep that out. Expression, so if the user and the computer have the same integer, that means they've tied. So we're really not going to do anything here besides tell them, hey, print out you tied. So otherwise, we'll have to do a few scenarios here. If user is equal to, let me make this a little easier on myself, make a little note here. So rock equal 1, paper equal 2, scissors equal 3. That way I can just reference that. So if user equal 1, which is rock, and I don't know how you do an and. Or and, okay. So I can use and. User, and so if user is equal to 1, so they're rock, and the computer is equal to paper, is equal to paper, which is 2, then that means that the computer won. So computer won. I'm just going to leave that there. Else if, we'll keep using this. So 1, we've already done that. So if the user is 1, then this means that the user won, because user is going to be rock, computer is going to be scissors, rock beats scissors. Great. Let's keep on going. So we'll just use the next set. So this case up here will take care of 3 and 3, 2 and 2, 1 and 1. So we got 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and 2 and 1. Let's see what else. I'm just going to create these real quick. So we have 3 and 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 1 and 3, and 3 we don't need to include, so 1 and 2. All right, so what does that mean for us? If 2 and 1, so user's paper, that means that the user won. All right, and then rock, paper, scissors, so 2. 2 is paper, 3 is scissors, computer won. Otherwise, 3 and 1, scissors, rock, user, this would be the computer won. Otherwise, 3 and 2, so 3, scissors, paper, so this would be user won. Does this make sense? 3 user wins, 3 computer wins. Yeah, it looks like that works. So, all right, I think we got our if-else if statements lined up here and created. So I'm just going to keep this for reference. And you tied, we're not going to do anything. We got to keep score here too. So I'm going to write a score equal to 0. And I guess we really need a user score and a computer score. And then we'll just spit out at the end of all this, print out current user score, and we'll do user score here. I think that's how that goes. Print, we'll do current computer score, and same thing, comp score, and that should spit out the computer and user score so they can keep track of who's winning. The other thing I'm going to be missing is this random, so that must be a module. All right. So, no, I'm not gonna get emoji. Python and not while loop, but random. All right, back to this random deal. So there's a library called random. So I assume you would include this by doing hashtag, well, not hashtag. How do we do that in the first? Import. Import. And the library I assume is called random. Don't need this here. And I think that'll take care of this object. So just to go through this, well, let me finish this first. So if the computer won, we need to increment the comp score by 1. It doesn't like something there. Do I need to do integer, integer, integer? What am I missing? Not sure what I'm missing there yet. Let's see how we add again. That doesn't help me. Ah, thank you, Year of Linux, plus equal. I guess that should work, right? Well, plus equal exists, maybe? Well, I'm not sure why it cares. Well, let me just finish these out real quick. It doesn't care. I think it was just tricking me here. I could have used whatever I wanted, but yeah, this makes it easier. So, comp score, user gets the score, user won, so we can copy this here. Otherwise, the computer won, so we want comp score. User won, or computer won again. User won, so I'll copy this one here. All right, make sure we line things up right. And I think that solves everything there. All right. Looks like sometimes I just need to hit a save in order for all the syntax errors to go away. Not sure why that's like that. Must be a Visual Studio thing with Python, but that's fine. So if I run, I can see that I have my choices available. So I'm going to select rock, and looks like the computer won. All right. Cool. Looks like this is working actually. Yeah. All right, so I don't need this %s. It doesn't do anything. So let's try paper this time. Computer won again. Of course it did. Well, why wouldn't it? Let's do it again. 3. All right, we tied there. So we probably want a message every time that we go through these if statements so we know what happens. So computer 1, otherwise, let's see, wherever the computer wins, we'll just paste these. Computer wins here, computer win, computer win, computer win, and let's do user wins. We're getting really close here. Last thing I want to do is keep it running. So I'm going to go ahead and add a while loop in. That's something new I haven't done yet. So user 1, user 1, user 1. So let's give this another shot. See if it's running still. Rock 1. All right. So the computer 1, current user score 0, current computer score 1. And we can keep running that all we want. But I don't want it to have to, well, I don't want to have to hit the compile and execute button every single time, or I mean the run button. So we need to add in a while loop. Let's see if we do while. I assume it's the same as we would do with, so I think I looked this up already. We can see. No, better off Googling this. While loop in Python. Wiki. While true, while some condition is true, break. So let's just put a while true. Let's see if that constantly goes. So it needs an indented block. So I think I need to do everything here. If it's all indented, we should be okay, but let's see. Expected a indented block. Where's that at? Line 29. Yeah, that makes sense. So indentation here is very important in Python, clearly. That's how it keeps track of its scope. All right, let's see what we're missing now. Invalid syntax. Well, this was just working, so. Who knew a while loop would be so hard? All right, so let's try this instead. If it's going to care so much. I'm going to go back, make sure that things are running okay. Whoop. Don't want to do that. Shift tab. I think I have everything. Rerun that. Invalid syntax. All right, well, I screwed something up in an attempt to get the while running, so I'm gonna backtrack here. Was I running still here? Yes, I was. All right, so Control C, get out of there. All right, so I'm gonna try a while loop here at the bottom. While true, print, this is true. Let's see. Save that. True, this is case sensitive clearly. All right, now it's spamming me, so that works. So, what am I getting wrong here? If I do while, true, colon, and I make an indentation for everything. Is that not right? Expected an indented block. Yeah, I'm a little stubborn, clearly. Not wanting to check out Stack Overflow, but I'm not sure why it's complaining about the while loop, so I gotta read a little bit more about this while here. Raw input while. Man, they didn't really give a good example, did they? Nope. Not what I wanted. No. All right. Python while. Score. Why does comp score keep? Oh, shoot. Thought I had that. There we go. It was just indentation. I missed it. Alright, let's see what happens now. 1, computer 1. Alright, of course it did. 2, user 1. But our score got erased. Oh, yeah, of course. Put this in the wrong scope, and it will get erased. So I'm going to put that outside of the while. Just to initialize things. And now, let's try our game again. I think we're... Invalid letter. Alright. So now if I do rock, I have a computer 1, great. Computer seems to always win here, 3. Oh, we tied that time. Alright, we're getting the program going here. Look at that. I'm gonna beat this computer one way or another. Man, he's good. Whoop. Typed in nothing and it went out. Oh man, I almost had him beat too. Alright, well this is a functioning rock, paper, scissors program. I got it done. Took me a little while to get the while loop. But now I understand I just had an indentation wrong, of course, in my else if statement. Well, I think this is enough for one day. I went ahead and learned a little bit about multiplication, addition, subtraction, and all those operators. I went ahead and made a little program here, a little game, rock, paper, scissors. I never put in the quit. I'll do that. Thanks, Year of Linux. Oh. That should have been a little easier than it was, but that's alright, we're learning. Well, if you guys are new and stopping by, make sure to subscribe to the channel for future Python streams, videos, tutorials, whatever. And of course we have a ton of Linux information available on the channel. So if anything, come back for that. Plan on moving Python over to Linux eventually, but I'm just using Windows here for the first few at least. Well, I hope you enjoyed this stream, and we'll be continuing in the next few days, I'm sure, again, learning Python. I appreciate you guys watching. Catch you later.